Hello class. I wanted to take just a minute and go through what I look for when I grade the first essay, the rhetorical analysis paper. I am using the rubric and the assignment description sheet that can be found here under the Welcome tab in the course. So if you wanted to use those as a guide, I think that would help you effectively revise and put together your paper to submit on Tuesday. On the assignment sheet, it actually gives you a breakdown of what the essay should be paragraph by paragraph. So going through that, it's what I follow when I grade the essay. The first thing I look at is making sure that it's in MLA format with the correct heading, with your name and the class and the date. No giant title, nothing bolded or underlined at the top. Doesn't need to have any of that. Just follow the MLA format required in the class. It also needs to be 6 pages, double spaced, so make sure that you're following the length requirements as well. I first look at the introduction and make sure that you start in an interesting way, whether you're talking about the topic or describing a situation that is found in the article or discussing the issue that the author is discussing in the article, just some way that leads to the main claim. So that one sentence that states the effectiveness of the article plus your reasons. So for example, you may write something like, while Joe Smith fails to effectively persuade his audience through ethos, his logos and pathos effectively convince his audience of blank, right? You'll definitely refine that a little bit better as you write it, but I need to know that you're critiquing the article. I need to know what parts of the argument you find effective or ineffective based on the ethos, logos, and pathos. Remember, this paper is not about the topic. It is about the argument and the effectiveness of the author's argument. So you shouldn't go into any discussion of whether or not technology is good for, teenagers, or vaccines should be given or shouldn't be given. It's not about the issue. It's about the argument of the author. So make sure that you're really keeping that in mind as you revise. After the introduction, I look for a correct summary. A lot of students make mistakes with the first line of the summary and forget all the elements that are required. The author's name, the article's title, the credentials, and the main claim. They add quotes in the summary, which you're not supposed to do. They often use personal pronouns in the summary, which you're not supposed to do. And they also forget to attribute thoughts to the author, like so-and-so states, or the author states, or using their last name, so-and-so claims. So make sure that you're following the correct form of the summary. Then I look at and see 2 paragraphs about logos, and you've written many of these paragraphs in the last week and a half. So going back to those paragraphs and which ones are logos, identifying the ones that appeal to logos, and making sure that they transition well together in the essay. They're not just sort of thrown in there, that you go back and revise, that you're not giving too much summary, so you're not quoting the article too much. A general rule that I like to use is 1/3 of a paragraph should be quoted and the rest should be analysis, and that you're really focused on writing in the GRIAC model. So those are the 2 logos. Then the 2 ethos. I'm looking for a critique of the author's credibility and trustworthiness, and the opposing view. That goes into the ethos, those paragraphs you've already written, but you're cleaning them up and transitioning well from logos to ethos to pathos, writing about the emotional appeals and the assumptions. You'll notice that you've written all of these paragraphs already and done most of the work. You just need to put it together, transition well, and make sure that you're revising some of the comments that I and your peers have provided. And then you'll have your conclusion at the end, which is always just sort of restating the ideas and, not just necessarily restating the thesis, but trying to pull it all together in the end. Make sure that you're doing your citations correctly. So it should be parenthesis, paragraph, P-A-R-A, period, and then the paragraph number, parenthesis, and then a period, or a punctuation mark. Or if you have a page number, then the page number is in those parentheses, and a and a period on the outside of the parentheses. And those are just a couple things I look for. You can see in this rubric here, the rubric really is, I follow very closely. I look at your analysis. Are you analyzing the ethos, pathos, and logos? Are you following the CREAC paragraph structure with smooth transitions between paragraphs? Is the summary done correctly? Is the intro and claim correct? And a conclusion paraphrasing well and not really quoting any new material. And then I look at your grammar, spelling, punctuation, and your MLA citations. So know that, and at the bottom it says points may be deducted for incomplete work if you don't meet the page requirement. So that's kind of how I look for your essay. Remember that I will still look at your essay if you send it to me through Monday, or if you want to come to the writing lab Monday evening and I'll answer any questions that you have. Good luck revising. Remember that what you did in the last 2 weeks is not complete. You need to revise, and polish, and make sure that you submit a polished, professional, academic essay. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, class.